Hi again, Henry Beyer here with Fit for Fun Fitness. In this video you'll be learning how to do the plank. Now, since I had you do a plank during the test, I assume that all of you already know how to do a plank, but we're going to cover some finer points of the plank that we're going to be using during this strength phase of the program. For one, we're going to be doing the plank from our elbows for now. When you're doing your plank from your elbows, the traditional position is to have your elbow underneath your shoulder, like so. To increase the difficulty of the plank, you can move your elbows more forward, so this is not a 90-degree angle here. This is roughly a 90-degree angle. Here, that's more than a 90-degree angle. Doing that makes the plank more difficult. Another thing to know about the plank is if you move your elbows in, and that makes it more difficult. If you move your feet in, that makes the plank more difficult. So these are just different positions that you can play around with to find the position that's going to make the plank challenging enough for you for the time frame that we're going to be doing these exercises. In these first couple of days, really work on this to find a good position for you so that as we increase time, if you have that good position, you'll know that you're progressing in the exercise by adding time. Now, we also want to talk about our midsection during the plank. So I've talked about this already during some of the lessons, but if you imagine that you have your pubic bone here and your belly button here. If you imagine that there's a line here between the two, you want to, when you're doing the plank, you want to shrink that line. You want to make it smaller than when you're just standing in a normal, comfortable phase. You do this by squeezing your butt cheeks really hard. That's pushing your pelvis, sort of tilting your pelvis back. The harder you do this, and it shrinks this distance between your pubic bone and your belly button. At the same time, you want to brace your abdomens if you're expecting to get punched in the stomach. You also want to squeeze your quads as tight as possible and try and lift your kneecap. And then a final thing is to push your heels away from you. All of these will help you keep a very rigid position in the plank. Now, this is the big difference probably between some of the planks that you normally do and the planks that we're going to be doing in this program is when you're in the position here, you're going to be trying to push your elbows into the ground and at the same time pull them towards your toes. And you will find you'll get a super intense contraction in your midsection by doing this. So let me get down on the ground and demonstrate. So here I am. I'm pointing my heels away from me. I have my elbows just about shoulder width, directly underneath my shoulders. I'm pushing my heels away from me. I'm squeezing my butt. I'm tensing my thighs as much as I can, and then I'm pushing my elbows into the floor and towards my heels at the same time and holding. Always checking in with these different components of the move to make sure everything is the way that it's supposed to be. And then breathing through your nose behind what's called behind the shield, behind those tensed abdominals. And that is the plank. We're going to be doing this for time, and we'll be doing this every minute on the minute. So we're going to be using the every minute on the minute protocol for our planks, and we're going to be doing them for time. So the training plan will specify the amount of time that we'll be holding them. And as we move along in the program, we're just going to try and hold them for just a little bit longer as we move along. So that's the plank. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to answer them. And once again, thanks for watching the video.